What's going on, everybody? My name is Ron, and today we're cooking a steak. Let's get it done. All right, so pretty much here we got the essentials, everything you need to cook a steak. So right here we have your mushrooms. You can't go cooking a steak without your shrooms, so we got those. We got the onion. Yeah, I obviously need an onion to cook that steak. Butter, of course, and then garlic. I love garlic, and garlic is really healthy for you. So I love cooking with it, and I love using a lot of it as well. But yeah, these are the essential things that you need when you cook a steak. I haven't eaten steak for a very long time. Growing up, that's really, I'm trying not to eat meat too much. You always want to limit it because I feel like a balanced diet is the best diet. But whenever you get a chance to get a nice cut, and you get some grass-fed beef, that's clutch. So I got this beef here from a local butcher shop called John Brown's, and they're really good. I mean, they have a lot of farm raised. They have their own farm, so they have all farm raised products. So their eggs are farm raised. Their milk and all their stuff is pretty much literally the definition of organic. And somebody was telling me this the other day, which I thought was terrible. They were saying that a lot of these companies, they say that their product is farm raised or grass fed actually, and they only feed the cattle, a farm or grass at the end of when they die. So they're only fed grass really on one cycle, which is terrible. And my thought process was, okay, well, maybe they are grass fed throughout the whole time that they're living. They're a grass fed animal. But that's really not how it is. And I just feel like America, not only America, but we've just been, I don't know if bamboozled is the right word, but it feels like there's always shortcuts. And I'm not a fan of shortcuts. That's why I created a product, a chili jam, that is true to what we're trying to do and what we go for as far as health, and as far as quality. I'm not, I don't just want to pump out a ton of stuff just to make money. I mean, I don't really do anything for money. I do things because I genuinely love them, and I have fun doing it. So whenever you get a chance to make something for people, you want to do it right, because people are consuming these products, whether it be beef or whether it be a jam, whatever it is. Living in America, you should have the opportunity to eat healthy, and be able to maintain, some type of dignity, I guess, when you're digesting these foods. So when I heard that, it just kind of disgusted me because and I heard it from someone who works directly with different farms and things like that. And this person's opinion, I take, I take very strongly. So I was just really distraught when I heard it. But yeah, right now we're just chopping up some onions, and it's not making me cry. There's a way that I think you can chop up onions without releasing those strong odors, and I do it all the time a certain way, and I'll definitely do something. I'll do a video on how to chop an onion in the future. But now I got my mushrooms here, and I love mushrooms. These are just portobello mushrooms, but there's so many different types of mushrooms that I enjoy eating. Some people just don't like the taste and the texture of them, but I do, and I just take out the heads and or the stems, and wash them. Always wash them and cook them. I heard the best way to eat mushrooms is cooked. A lot of people eat them raw. I don't know if that's the best way. We got our garlic, we got our mushrooms, we got our onions, and then for the main show, we got our grass-fed steak right there. That's a big boy. Straight out of John Brown's kitchen. So I'm going to wash this and I'm going to season it a little bit. So that's just what you do when it comes to a steak. All right, so this is a pound. Usually what I like to do, I eat pretty healthy, just for like a health choice because there has been times where I haven't been so healthy in my life. So I use a little bit of basil to season this up. And, you really can help yourself using different herbs and things like that in order to stay healthy. I use a lot of basil. I use a lot of turmeric. Turmeric's really good, and it has a really good taste to it. I used to, in Maryland, we have a seasoning called Old Bay, and that seasoning is phenomenal, but the sodium is just like very high. So I only use it for, special occasions, but I use a lot of cumin. This is really good, especially for seasoning your meat, things like that. Rub it on in. That looks good and pretty. Now we're going to take this over to the stove. Oh yeah, and I got my Himalayan sea salt. I love this sea salt. This is supposed to be, from what the specialists and professionals say, this is supposed to be really good for you. And I use this a lot. Well, not a lot because it is salt at the end of the day, but I still do use it on a lot of my food. So let's go ahead and let's get the cook going. So this is the famous jam from the fam, chili jam here. And this is really good it goes in a lot of different things. This is what we make. And we've been doing this for actually not too long. This has been like the first year of this. And it's gotten to this point where we have a logo, have a business, and people are actually starting to like it and buy some products here in Maryland. So we're very fortunate to be able to come up with this idea, but this is really good when you put on so many different types of products, and especially steak. My mother actually marinated this in chicken. I haven't done it in steak or anything like that, but I've eaten it with steak, and it actually tastes really good. So yeah, jam from the fam. So what I'll do is I'll throw my shrooms on. Put my garlic on this and onions. Onions and steak, I mean, they just go together so well, It's like a beautiful song, really, when you put that on. And then we have our steak. That's a big boy right there, But yeah, this is what's going on. This is how we do it. Now, I do a podcast called The Jam Sesh, and I talk about different bands because I've been in the band for a long time, as a lot of people probably know. And I am a frontman in a band. I have two bands. I have one called This September, and another band called Lord Anna. And I talk about music a lot just because I've been growing up watching so many different types of bands, so many different types of artists. Because I loved rap, I love R&B. There's a lot of things that I truly love. And one of the things I wanted to do with this channel is be able to talk about music while I cook, just because I love music so much. And last night I did a podcast, and I was just going over, some of the greatest guitarists ever to play. And I was looking at this Rolling Stones article, and they were saying that a lot of guitars were like very high up on the list, like Slash, for instance, was like 54 on the list, but then the Edge was like 34, and I was just like, what's going on here? Why is that the case? So I don't know. I just thought that was weird, but at the end of the day, I do love talking about music. One of the best one of the bands I saw on there was Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machines. And I feel like that band, I'm not going to call them underrated because they were very successful when they were doing their thing. I mean, they were playing, I feel like they were playing like huge festivals early on, you know. So they were very successful when they first started, you know. So they were doing their thing. But Tom Morello's playing has always been interesting to me, just because it's so different, you know. That's just one of those things where he came on the scene and no one was really playing like no one was playing like that, you know. And then their front man, who was a very interesting singer, and I'm assuming him and Tom Morello wrote most of the lyrics to Rage Against the Machines. But really powerful stuff, and I still jam to them this day. It's like the best type of workout music that you possibly can listen to. And just do a little bit more butter on there, just because I like my onions really, really caramelized and buttery. So yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, when you're cooking a steak, you gotta cook it with butter. This is a big boy, so it's, you know, usually I would grill something like this, you know, like on my actual grill. But this hot plate, this is really good for stuff like this too. I love playing with my onions for whatever reason. I can like never leave them alone when I'm cooking a steak. I always have to like mess with them for some reason. But yeah, garlic, onions, you really can't go wrong. And I think a lot of things that I like talking about too on this is it's just like healthy type foods. Meat is not really the only thing that I eat, obviously, because my girlfriend is a vegetarian. So there's a lot of vegetarian options that I make and eat. And I really think that some foods are really just some companies are really making foods that are that taste very similar to meat, which make it easier for meat eaters to come over into the vegetarian realm and eat food, which I think is really cool and really fascinating. You know, so it's definitely a challenge if you don't know what to eat and you want to transition over to being a vegetarian or a vegan. I mean, the reason I would do it, the reason I did it before was just for health reasons, just to become a lot healthier. I'm very health conscious, so I always try to figure out the best way to stay in shape, the best way to figure this out, figure that out, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think we all just want to be healthy and want to eat the right thing. And being a vegetarian is cool, but there's certain things that you can mess up to. So it's really just having the help that you need in order to figure it out. Now that looks amazing right there. That looks really good. That's gonna taste really good. That is gonna taste really good. That is a nice piece of meat. Cool. And the great thing about steak, it really doesn't take that long to cook. I mean, it's a very fast cook, you know. So this is going to be a good dish. This is going to be a lot of food that I can eat for a while, and it's definitely something that that I love to make when I do make it. So don't forget, we're coming to a store near you soon. These jars are going to look a little bit different. This is just kind of like a personal jar right here. Usually they're going to be like an actual jam jar with a black lid on it. But this is cool, and this is really good. So Jam from the fam, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. This is How to Make a Steak with your boy Ronnie Rose. Peace out, guys. See ya. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This was Ronnie Rose, Jam from the fam, How to Make a Steak. We got a lot more content coming to you. Check out our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and obviously YouTube. Make sure to subscribe down below, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining the fam. Peace.